ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताश्च गोपेश गोपिका सप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिते कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरातिशे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are okay. This is chapter 12 and 13. Last week we were discussing on Vrindavan. Yeah. Um, the importance of staying in Vrindavan. Now the next item is like the importance of Dham, which is one of the anga of sadhana bhakti. Among the 64 anga of sadhana bhakti, one of them is to visit the holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. Now rendering service to devotees. Here we see some sannyasis. They are in a holy place and feeding the visitors. Lord Shiva tells Parvati, "My dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship, and out of all such methods, the worship of the Supreme Person is considered to be the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of Lord's devotees." So, so here, uh, आराधनामपि सर्वेषां विष्णुर आराधना परम तस्मात् परम तरम देवी Tadyanam Samarchanam. Here Lord Shiva says, among all the worship, Vishnu Aradhana Param. The worship of Vishnu is highest. Tasmat Parantaram Devi, and even higher than um, uh, worship of Vishnu is Tadiya Nam Samarchana, is the worship of the devotees of the. Let me become a sincere servant of the devotees, because by serving them one can achieve unalloyed devotional service onto the lotus feet of the Lord. The service of the devotees diminishes all miserable material conditions and develops within one a deep devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What happens when we serve devotees? All the miserable material conditions are diminished, and one develops deep devotional love for Krishna. By serving them, one can achieve unalloyed devotional service onto lotus feet of the Lord. Today morning Bhagavatam class actually, this verse came when we were discussing. This is from Dhruva's prayer to Lord Vishnu. And Dhruva was mentioning if one can associate with those devotees or serve those devotees or associate with those devotees who have developed a hankering towards the lotus feet of the Lord. If one associate with such advanced devotees, then that association can free one from various material desires or various attachments and attractions to this world. My dear Partha, this is Krishna telling to Arjuna, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. If you say, I'm a devotee of, if you say Krishna, Krishna, I'm your devotee, this is all right, fine. If you say to Krishna, Krishna, I'm devotee of this devotee, then Krishna says, oh, here comes, you are my devotee then. There is this one example of one, um, mm, I think Madan Mohan Malviya or somebody came to Saraswati Thakur and no, this is another thing. Somebody came to Saraswati Thakur and he said, I need some time of yours. Um, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I want to talk to you about devotional service. So Saraswati Thakur says, come back later. Right now I'm busy with some things. So that person left. Another person came and he says, I am devotee of the devotees of the Lord. I need some of your time. I want to discuss something about devotional service. I am devotee of devotees. Then Saraswati Thakur, same time, he said, come, sit, let us talk. Saraswati Thakur was showing by his example the importance of becoming the devotees of Lord's devotees. Oh, okay. That was it. Serving the Lord according to one's position. In the Padma Puran, there is a statement that one should perform these ceremonies for the Lord according to one's financial position. Everyone should observe the different ceremonies and celebrations of the Lord by all means. Serving the Lord according to one's position. So, some people can, like Krishna, is satisfied with anything. Some people can worship the Lord just with a fruit and flower, and Krishna is very happy. But some people um, who are very well to do, then they should serve the Lord according to their own position. We hear about the story of Brahmana who had nothing to offer to Krishna and he started offering to Krishna in his mind and Krishna accepted it. But one should not be like for oneself, one is very opulent, but for Krishna, one is offering a leaf and a flower only and nothing else. So, in a way, the Lord is not neglected, but the Lord is the center. The Lord is the most important personality. Everything is done for the pleasure of the Lord. So the idea is not that for me everything very wonderful, but for Krishna, little bit here and there, and Krishna, you got this and now you are happy, and I have everything else is for me. So that is not good. So serving the Lord, whatever best actually. One of the anga of bhakti is also whatever best one has. Last week we were discussing. We should offer to Krishna whatever best we can offer. And then performing devotional service in the month of Kartik. In the Padma Purana, it is said the Lord may offer liberation or material happiness to a devotee. Um, but after some devotional service has been executed, particularly in Mathura during the month of Kartik, the devotees want only to attain pure devotional service unto the Lord. So it is said, um, the Lord does not It is not, I mean, the Lord can easily give one material happiness. You have a material desire, the Lord can easily give it that to you. What do you want? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says people desire dhanam, janam, sundarim. Give me this, give me that. And the Lord may easily fulfill your desire. But if you say, Krishna, I want you, then Krishna says, no, 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 I will not come so easy. But then Padma Puran says, but if you go to Mathura and in the month of Kartik, if you go to Vrindavan in the month of Kartik, and then you say, Krishna, I want you, then Krishna will come to you. Wonderful. But if you go to Mathura, um, and then you go to Vrindavan in the month of Kartik, and then you render some devotional service there. Actually, Krishna is very easily attainable in Vrindavan. Um, the purport is that the Lord does not award devotional service to ordinary persons who are not serious about it. But even such unserious persons who execute devotional service according to the regulated principles during the month of Kartik and within the jurisdiction of Mathura in India are very easily awarded Lord's personal service. If somebody is not serious, the Lord will not give them devotional service easily. But even the unserious persons render some devotional service in the month of Kartik in Vrindavan in India, then the Lord becomes captured and the Lord will give himself to them even if they're not very serious. This is the power of the month of Kartik, power of the month of Kartik in Vrindavan. And that's why many spiritual masters perform yatras in the month of Kartik. Like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he's doing Kartik Yatra this year in Vrindavan. If somebody is interested to join for 10 days, it's very, very important when we are in Vrindavan with thousands of devotees, calling out, chanting the holy names. Your progress will be like millions of times more than what we can do elsewhere or otherwise. Month of Kartik with devotees, with pure devotees in Vrindavan, the potency is just magnified unlimitedly. Observing festivals, celebrating the Lord's activities, and one should not neglect to observe Lord's festivals like Ram Navami was there, Janmashtami is there, God Purnima is there, um, um, Diwali is there, which is not the uh, patake thing, but it's like inviting the Lord in our heart or celebrating the victory of Lord Ram. So, the spiritual angle. So, one should not neglect to celebrate the Lord's festivities. For example, if your birthday is there, suppose, and your birthday is there, nobody wishes you, nobody comes, um, everyone is just busy. How do you feel? But imagine on the other time, your birthday is there, and all your friends and everybody came together with a cake and with a smiling face, and everybody comes, everybody glorifies you, everybody dance, and you are looking. How do you feel? Likewise, Lord is also a person. When Lord's birthday is there and everybody is coming and giving him abhishek, um, performing, Lord is so pleased. So one must not neglect to participate. Never neglect to participate in Lord's festivals. This statement of the Bhavishya Puran gives evidence that by observing different functions in relationship with the Lord, one is sure to become pleasing to the Lord. See, Krishna is a person, um, um, and you try to please Krishna, Krishna is pleased. And Krishna may not show because Krishna is very grave. So you may not understand how Krishna is getting pleased. But if you keep on serving Krishna, keep on serving Krishna, keep on serving Krishna, gradually you will see that Krishna is becoming very, very pleased with you. Um, then serving the deity with great devotion. Adi Puran states that a devotee is satisfied simply by being engaged in devotional service. A devotee is satisfied simply by being engaged in devotional service. He does not aspire for any liberation. We see, I know many devotees. Like there is one devotee. I was talking to him, Abramachari. He says, Prabhu, I have one desire in my life. Anyways, um, um, but he was mentioning, anyways, no need to mention that. But his desire was a life of servitude, a life of devotion, um, and nothing else. A life of devotion and nothing else, in short. And so a devotee is satisfied simply by being engaged in devotional service. And there is another example of a bird. That bird is called Chataka. Chataka, or I think so. Um, so this particular bird, she drinks water only when it rains. And if it doesn't rain, then she fasts. She would not come to the river, ocean, lakes and drink water. She would not do that. She would wait till it rains. Only then she will quench her thirst. Otherwise, she will fast, even if she dies. Likewise, a devotee should find his or her satisfaction, happiness only through Krishna and nothing else. And if so much, so much is offered, if it is not related to Krishna, but it is offered, then a devotee should fast. Fast means not enjoying things which are not connected to Krishna, ideally. Adi Puran states that a devotee is satisfied simply by being engaged in devotional service. He does not aspire for any liberation from material conditional life. In other words, anyone who is engaged in devotional service is not in the material condition of life, although he may appear so. So Adipuran states, if one is engaged in devotional service, one may be one may be doing various things. He may appear to be engaged in many material conditions of life, but he is not so. He is always engaged in devotional service. Like Srila Prabhupada, one time he said, a devotee may be engaged in bricks and mortars and maybe doing something and maybe painting or maybe um, you know, taking, maybe doing so many material things that everybody may be doing. Everybody does something or the other. Everybody works, but a devotee may also be working. But one should know that devotee is not engaged in any karmic activities. A devotee is whatever he does, a devotee is always liberated in a way that he is doing things for the pleasure of Krishna. So serving the deity with great devotion. Then deity worship. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within the material world, all of us have so many desires to engage the company of our friends and loved ones within this material world. So this is Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is telling, my dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within the material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna who is standing on the bank of Keshi Ghat. He is known as Govinda, and his eyes are very enchanting. He is playing upon his flute, and on his head there is a peacock feather, and his whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. So there is an evening time on the bank of Yamuna. Krishna is standing there. The breeze is flowing. He is playing on his flute. He has a peacock feather on his head. Um, um, on the bank of Keshi Ghat in Vrindavan. If you have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends, then please don't look at him. He has enchanting eyes. Don't look at him. Because if you look at him, then he is Hari. He will steal your heart. And then you will not be able to enjoy the company of your friends anymore. So that's why he's telling, if you want to enjoy in this world, please don't look at this form of Krishna. Don't imagine Krishna in this way. People are generally attracted to society, friendship, and love, and they make elaborate arrangements and strong endeavors to develop these material contaminations. People put so many elaborate arrangement and so much endeavor goes in developing these contaminations of attraction to society, friendship, and love. But to see the Sri Murtis of Radha and Krishna is to forget such endeavors for material association. But I mean, only we know that only Krishna can fully satisfy our heart. Nothing else can satisfy our heart. Other things, it may feel like they may satisfy our heart, but these are false promises by Maya. False promises by Maya, other things can also make me happy, but actually only Krishna can make us happy. Other things can give us a temporary happiness and then bring a lot of misery also. But Krishna will give transcendental joy. Worshipping, I mean, Anyways, worshipping the deity form of the Supreme Lord automatically brings purity and satisfaction to the mind. One may ask this question: why should I worship the deity? The deity worship is full of, it will give you lot of satisfaction to your mind. It will bring purity. One time, Srila Prabhupada in one of the purport, Prabhupada says the Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan. Then why do deity worship? And then this is being said by in this is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. And many acharyas and Goswamis have commented on it. When the Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan, why do deity worship? So there it is mentioned, because if we don't do deity worship, then we don't have much taste in Harinam Sankirtan anyways. And the mind is disturbed, and mind is, how can we chant when we have not developed the purity and the mind is not stable? When we chant, what do we think? The chanting itself it's not like a great experience for us. So it requires a certain qualification to chant properly. But the deity worship will quickly make the mind very pure and will give deep satisfaction. And then we can chant the holy names. So Prabhupada says that's why deity worship and holy name should go in parallel. That way chanting will advance very quickly. And uh, one sannyasi in ISKCON, his name is Shivram Maharaj. Shivram Maharaj says deity worship is bliss, brings so much satisfaction. I know so many sannyasis like Gopal Krishna Maharaj, so many sannyasis, Chandramauli Maharaj, um, Bhakti Sagar Maharaj, so many, they carry deities with them wherever they go. Why? Because serving deities gives so much satisfaction and brings so much purity, and it nourishes the heart. Um, um, yeah. Worshipping the deity form of the Lord, Supreme Lord, automatically brings purity and satisfaction to the mind. Thus, it is the source of all desirable gains. If a person has no engagement in deity service, he will simply remain attracted to material sense gratification, and he will have no hope of giving a bad association. So, we want to develop relationship with the deities, and a, a personal relationship with the deities. When we serve the deities, develop a personal relationship, like when a boy and a girl get married in an arranged setting, arranged marriage, then they develop a stronger bonding by serving each other. Likewise, when we serve deities, the deities will start attracting our heart, and you can think of the deity form of the Lord in your chanting, and we become conscious of deities, just like how people are uh, people are conscious of helping somebody, serving somebody, or people are trying to do so many things for so many people in order to for whatever, for some kind of relationship. But then like how a mother is always thinking about how to feed the child is hungry, um, um, bathe the child, um, put the child to rest in the afternoon, put the child to rest in the night. So, how mother and father are always so much taking care of the child. So, likewise, one should take care of the deities. I'm cooking for them, putting them to rest, waking them up, brushing their teeth, and giving them a bath. So, in this way, something tomorrow. So, yeah. Thank you, Vedanta. Hare Krishna. So in this way, one develops a relationship with deities by serving them, and then one starts thinking, "Oh, the Lord is hungry. Did the Lord get proper rest? Did he sleep for at least 8 hours? Did he eat? um, or if you are not, if like um, suppose you have deities at home, and if you're not at home, if you're office also, you will think, was lunch fed to them? What was fed to them? Was it fed to them on time? Then you come back and you see the form of the Lord, and it's like, we are developing a relationship. And unless we are working in developing a relationship with the Lord in deity form, um, we will remain attracted to material sense gratification. But that thing can be overcome. Actually, material sense gratification can be overcome by seva. And by serving the Lord, it's very, I mean, see, we cannot think of Krishna all the time. We are not there yet. But we can think of deities of Krishna, deity form of Krishna, and we can take anxiety towards their service. And this is like, that once deities comes now, they're like another maybe children in our house, or different people see in different ways, or the Lord in our house, and he's standing there, he's playing his flute, and now he's dependent on me. A devotee feels like deities is he depends the devotee depends on the deities of the Lord, and he also feels that I have to take care of him. So in a way, the Lord is dependent on me also. And then the devotee puts his heart, like he wants to take care of the Lord in very nice way. Just like how people have so much desire to dress in a very nice way na? So likewise, we want to, it is said that when we dress the Lord in a very nice way, then we lose the desire to dress ourselves. And we want to decorate the Lord, show the mirror, my Lord, this is how you are looking. And you're very happy, find great satisfaction just by seeing how the Lord is decorated. So in this way, when the deity form is going on very nicely now, one will give up one's own desire. So much emphasis. Actually, there are, Rupa Goswami says, five. I mean, I like deity worship. There are five most important anga of bhakti, and among them, one among them is deity worship. It really helps to develop a personal connection. Um, for us to chant all the time is difficult, actually. But to think of the Lord's seva is relatively very easy. Mother Yashoda is always thinking, my Kana ate today. He is going bare feet. Some thorns may prick him. He's always thinking about Baba giving pleasure to Krishna. Um, uh, uh, Caring for Krishna. He is not eating enough. He is not sleeping enough. Where is he? Why he hasn't returned? So in a way, Prabhupada said this is samadhi of Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is always thinking about how to serve Krishna. And with the deity form of the Lord, we can develop that relationship. Deity becomes the center of the house. Deity becomes the center of our life. Everything rotates around that. There is one video if you want to watch, but the sound is not clear. That's why if you want, when I send the presentation, you can watch it then. Can you hear the sound?
No,
No,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Cannot hear? Cannot hear?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think I'll send you the video, the presentation, then you can hear. But very nicely they speak. If deity comes to the house, then everything, all of one's activities become centered around them. One job becomes centered. One is thinking about them day and night. One comes to the home, and one is talking about them. The whole family get together and serves them. Um, the father is like training the children, also cooking. Beta, go and offer. So in this way, we need a center who can take accept all of our service. We need the Lord in the house who can accept all of our service. Better you go and do arati, did you take bath today? Everything, every conversation goes around, and when there is happiness and distress, happiness, Lord's mercy, distress, Lord's mercy, one starts relating with Krishna in a very personal way, very, very personal way. That's why so much emphasis is given on deity worship. And see, if we are chanting, it is very hard to remember Krishna day and night. How can we take? Because he's far, he's not with us. But when in deity form of Krishna you accept, then Krishna is living with you. You know this is Sakshat Bhagwan staying there, and he is dependent upon you. And you're going out, and if you're going out for 2 days, you'll be thinking like, my Krishna is hungry. I've given some nuts. You will feel guilty eating outside, knowing that I have fed only nuts to Krishna. Then also you are Krishna conscious. I have not done arati to him. Maybe I'll do the arati to a picture form of Krishna. He must be sleeping at home. See, when deity comes, like when father and mother are there, when the children come, so much attention goes in taking care of the child. Likewise, when deity comes, he's like a personality living in your home. Now, so much emphasis going there. By default, knowingly and unknowingly, you're becoming more Krishna conscious. That's why there's so much emphasis on deity worship. Um, but at deity, Rupa Goswami in Shivram Maharaj was mentioning, Rupa Goswami was ecstatic, taking care of Radha Govind Dev. And then this is a little bit deeper. And then he knows that Rupa Goswami knows that Mahaprabhu want him to write books, um, study the scriptures, substantiate the philosophy. But Rupa Goswami was so much in bliss taking care of the deities. So he gave up the service of the deities in order to serve Sri Chaitanya or one spiritual master. So it is said that it is very, very pleasing, but even higher than deity worship is serving the order of one spiritual master. Um, 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 but the point is there that anybody who was engaged in devotional service was so much in bliss that they don't want to give that up. But then if they have to give it up circumstantially for a higher instruction, then it makes them feel very sad, make them feel, yeah, they become sad that they cannot worship the deity and they are thinking of the deity still. Very, very important to engage in deity worship. Please do so. Then there is Bhagavad Shravan. It's like listening to Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam itself states simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, if somebody just listens, simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, it sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. Our situation, our situation, this material world, is we have lamentations. What is our lamentation? Oh, I want to enjoy something I don't have. Or why did I act in this manner? Or I don't have that in my life. So in a way, someone is hankering or lamentation. Everyone has some form of lamentation, illusion. I'll be happy with this. Illusion, lamentation, fearfulness. I have this, I don't want to lose this. What if I lose this? Everyone has this lamentation, illusion, fearfulness. Everyone is filled with these things. But it is said that when one reads Bhagavatam, one becomes satisfied. All those feelings, they are illusion actually. Lamentation, illusion, fearfulness, this is all illusory. This all does not have a substance. This is all because of illusory conception of life that these things capture our mind. There is no reality. But then still, this is how the modes will act. Rajagun, Tamagun, Sattvagun. Mind is filled with this. But then read Bhagavatam. While you are reading Bhagavatam or about Lord Chaitanya, now Ram Navami, Lord Ram, all these things will go away. And you will be engaged, absorbed in the Lord. And all the lamentation will go away, hankering will go away, illusion will go away, fearfulness will go away. You will be transcendently situated. Then the moment you keep Ramayana aside, keep Bhagavatam aside, keep Bhagavad Gita aside, then again, oh, I want this. I don't have that. Then again, immediately, the three modes will enter, and they're like, hey, now I have everything again. So that's why. Uh, so one can see how Bhagavatam can actually transport us to a spiritual realm. You can directly experience it. You read it for half an hour, you absorb in it, everything is gone. So you can see Bhagavatam is breaking through all the layers, putting in a transcendental platform. But the moment we give up Bhagavatam, immediately we are back to our material conditioning. So Bhagavatam can arouse our devotion. And that's why I decide one should regularly or daily, one should daily, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, study Bhagavatam. It will break our faith on illusion. And Bhagavatam itself says that. The conclusion is that simply by hearing the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. As soon as you read Bhagavatam, you will start thinking of Krishna. Start thinking of Bhishma Dev, thinking about Kunti's prayer to Krishna, thinking about Prahlad devotion, thinking about Dhruva Maharaj austerities, thinking about Ambarish Maharaj attraction to the deity form of the Lord and how he would rule keeping Krishna in the center. You will start thinking about the prayers of Lord Shiva to Prachetas. You will start thinking about and how the you will also hear about these pure devotees, and there is incarnations. There is Narsimhadev avatar, Rama avatar. There is Varahadev in boar incarnation. How there is Matsya the fish with King Satyavat Muni. Um, um, uh, they're all the incarnations, the Lord, their pastimes, devotees' pastimes, and the mal effects of material attachments. How, uh, how King Pururava was attached and was frustrated. How, how the prostitute Pingala was frustrated. How in this way you will see how material things is leading to frustration, and everyone is turning to Krishna and finding satisfaction there. So by hearing that, one will start accepting that in one's heart. One will be absorbed, transported to that realm, and there is great divinity because the messages of the Lord, they are filled with divine potency, internal potency. When internal potency touches our heart, the illusion goes away, but the moment internal energy leaves us, see, right now, we are not under the internal energy of the Lord. Why? Because we are engaged in the three modes since time immemorial. So our default position is we are we are in the control of the modes. That is our default position. So we need external help who is filled with divine potency. Although we are Maya-grast, when we associate with that which is spiritually potent, that spiritual potency rub on us, like Bhagavatam, holy name, deity worship, Vaishnavas, Seva. So that, that Dham, Yamuna. So these are spiritually potent. Yamuna is potent, the deity is potent, Bhagavatam is potent, Kirtan and devotee association is potent. So, although we are by default engaged in materialistic activities, these things will temporarily temporarily transport us there to a divine platform. And that's why we want to do more and more of these things. By that, it's the internal energy of the Lord which purifies the heart, which loosens. See, Maya has strong, tight grip on us. She's holding us very tightly in the form of three modes. But when we associate with that which is divine by nature, although we are not, Bhagavatam verses, they are divine. They are filled with divine potency. When we associate with that, that rub on our consciousness, by that, the three modes gradually loosens their grip on us. It is that internal potency that comes in contact with, which starts cleaning our material conceptions of life. We need to be touched again and again by that internal potency, and whatever helps us to be in that internal state, in that under the control of internal yoga maya, under internal potency, spiritual potency, whatever it takes so that that energy can keep rubbing on us. That's what we want to do for many long years. And that potency slowly, Prabhupada says, because we have been in touch with Maya since time immemorial, it takes some time to come out of this foreign nature. And we need external help to make us pure. And that's why we have Bhagavatam, we have holy name, we have deity, we have satsang, just so that it may rub upon us. So the conclusion is that simply by hearing the Vedic literature Srimad Bhagavatam, one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. Um, um, direct connection, actually, you will be transported at least temporarily to that platform. When you are reading, actually, you are there. When you are listening, you are there. If suppose you are reading about Dhruv Maharaj austerity and chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and how he's reading, you are reading. Temporarily, you are observing Dhruva Maharaj in that forest of Madhuvan. You are seeing how Dhruv Maharaj has stopped breathing, how Dhruv Maharaj is intensely chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, how Dhruv Maharaj is standing on one leg, how the Lord is listening and how the Lord comes, how he lost his meditation, he's opened his eyes, he started praying to the Lord. You are actually observing that. You are there at that point of time. Because these are transcendental, you are directly associating with the Lord and pure devotees through Bhagavatam. So one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. The purpose of reading is to be there in that scene and see what is going on. You can transport yourself today if you like, um, on the bank of Ganga and Yamuna, where Sukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj day and night. Everyone is fasting. Sukadev Goswami is speaking. And Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions. Sukadev Goswami is answering the glories of the Lord. And you can be one of the listeners there through the form of reading and hearing. So, in this way, one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, and thereby one can attain the highest perfection of life simply by transcending worldly miseries, illusion, and fearfulness. Again, the same thing. There are so many worldly miseries, illusion, and fearfulness that is there. But if we transport, we forget at that point of time. Sometimes devotee says when we come to temple, till the time we are in temple, we forget everything, and then we go out again. Hey, this so many problems, so many fear, so many attachments come. And when we are with devotees celebrating Janmashtami, Ram Navami, Sunday program, hearing Hari Katha, everything goes away at that point of time, because we comes in contact with the internal energy, because Hari Katha is in the center, Hari Kirtan is in the center, the Lord is in the center. And the moment we are out of that association, that environment and everything, then again everything comes up. That's why this is the external hell. We want to constantly associate with these divine sources in order to uplift us. We right now we may not be there, so we can stay there. Right now our natural tendency may be like coming back and back and back. But as we become more and pure, more and more pure and pure and pure, we are gradually raising our own platform and standard. It's like we are building our own muscles. Right now, if we don't have muscles, we can take somebody else's who can do the work for us. But then slowly, slowly, as we work on our own muscles, then we can do things for ourselves. So likewise, by associating, we are building our own muscles so that we can remain at other times also under the internal energy of the Lord and not be influenced by lamentation, hankering, illusion, fearfulness, misery, etc. These are practical tests for one who has actually given a submissive hearing to the readings of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, Prabhupada says, you can see if you have properly heard Bhagavatam. How you can see? See if these symptoms are there. Are you in influenced by the internal energy? Is lamentation, hankering, misery going away? And if things are permanently changing, initially we just come and go, we feel good, but then gradually by the practice, if things are permanent, transformation is happening, then you know that this is a test. Then you know you have actually given oral reception to Bhagavatam, submissive hearing to, to the readings of Bhagavatam, that you are actually getting it, that the heart is getting transformed. All other Puranic, this is about the glories of Bhagavatam. This is Bhagavatam itself says that all other Puranic scriptures shine forth in the assembly of saintly devotees only as long as that great ocean of nectar Srimad Bhagavatam is not heard. So you hear all the other Puranas. There are so many Puranas. Among them, 18 are only the primary Puranas. Um, so, um, uh, if you can appreciate the Puranas, if you have not heard Bhagavatam, they look great. All the Puranas look great as long as Bhagavatam is not heard. But once you start hearing Bhagavatam, all the Puranas appear like stars, and Bhagavatam is like the moon. Bhagavatam is completely transcendental. Why Bhagavatam is completely transcendental? Because Bhagavatam deals only with pure devotion. Bhagavatam does not promote anything else. Bhagavatam condemns any mixed devotion. Bhagavatam condemns anything material, and Bhagavatam promotes only pure devotion. Bhagavatam contains the pastimes only of pure devotees and the Lord incarnation. That's why the subject matter of entire Bhagavatam is completely transcendental. Other Puranas spoke about many things. You want some wealth, you can do this. By doing this, you will have good progeny. By doing this, you will have this. So many other scriptures give you many blessings, shows you many ways, but Bhagavad only propagates pure devotion, absolutely nothing else. And that's why it is completely satisfying to the heart. Um, so other scripture shines, only Bhagavatam is not there. If you have read all the scriptures, you read Bhagavatam, you will never go to any other Puran. You will never read anything. Yugal Kishore Prabhuji was mentioning, he started reading Mahabharat. Somebody said Mahabharat is great. So Prabhuji started reading Mahabharat. And then he said, I could not stand Mahabharat. After reading Bhagavatam, Prabhuji said Mahabharat was so unpleasing to me. It was so distasteful to me because it deals with politics, what Duryodhan did, what was happening, what were their desires, how they wanted Draupadi. Other scriptures deals with so many other things which are not directly pure bhakti. Prabhuji could not develop any taste for it. He was like, I'm disgusted by it. It's like, I don't like this. That's why it is said, even Vyasadeva, after composing Mahabharata, he was not satisfied. Only very few sections speaks about Krishna's supreme personality of God and pure devotion, like Bhishma Dev. Very few. And Bhagavad Gita is great in Mahabharata. Most of the Mahabharata is like it's still filled with three modes actually. And Vyasadeva it's himself says that Mahabharata is for less intelligent people. Mahabharata and other scriptures for less intelligent people. For devotees, only Bhagavad. Srimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. See, the Vedanta philosophy, the summary of Vedanta philosophy is Vedanta, and the natural commentary on Vedanta is Srimad Bhagavatam. The first, the first verse of Vedanta is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, but I think second or fourth verse of Vedanta is Janmadi Asayataha. That personality, the name of personality is not given in Vedanta Sutra, but it says that personality is the source of Janmadi Asayata. Janma Adi. Janma means creation. Adi means etc. Janma, creation, maintenance, and destruction. Janmadi Asayata. From him, all the he is the cause of all the creation, maintenance, and destruction. But who he is not defined. इसलिए some people take Vedanta is like just a summary from him like this is his power, the jivas are his part and parcel. So in this way many things are written, but the God is missed there actually. And some people interpret from Vedanta Sutra, this is referring to Brahman, this is that. So many interpretation scope is there because clear implicit is not mentioned in Vedanta Sutra. So Vyasadeva could feel that how this can be misguiding. So Vyasadeva himself wrote a commentary, and then he says, I will tell you now. I have written all the huge Vedas into very short. Now I will elaborate this short Vedanta into something that is complete in itself, and that is Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is commentary, and that's why the first verse of Bhagavatam begins with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Asayatah. Again, the Bhagavatam begins with I offer my respectful obeisances to Bhagavan. First, Bhagavan is defined who is Vasudev, the son of Vasudev Krishna. Janmadi Asayata, he is the source of creation, maintenance, and destruction. So in that way, Bhagavatam beginning only just defeats the Brahmavad and Mayavad conception. And that's why it is like that's why Adi Shankaracharya did not give commentary on Bhagavatam. Because the first verse itself will shatter the philosophy of Mayavad, like annihilate, brutally kill the philosophy. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Asatya Chatesha Bhagya Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavi Mohyati Asura. He is the one who gave this knowledge to Brahma. Um, so Srimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarian mellow will never be attracted to any other literature. Here Bhagavatam itself is telling. If you derive satisfaction from Bhagavatam, you will never be attracted to any other literature. Anything else you read after Bhagavatam is pastimes of the Lord, pastimes of pure devotee, completely pure. Once you start developing taste in that, anything else you read, you're like, don't feel the same, don't feel the same, don't feel the same. Will never be attracted to any other literature. Just as the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta is the supreme among deities, and Lord Shambhu is the best of Vaishnavas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. So Bhagavatam itself says the best river is Ganga, the best deity is Achyuta, which is Krishna, the best devotee is Shiva, and the best Purana is Bhagavatam. Sri Rupa Goswami composes a metaphor calling a friend foolish for having heard the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and thereby becoming completely indifferent to the wonderful activities of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. He thus poetically instructs us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is so glorious that even the four goals of human life are significant in comparison. So Rupa Goswami is telling, paisa chahiye, artha, kama, sense gratification chahiye, moksha chahiye, impersonal liberation, dharma chahiye, mundane religiosity, doing this for this benefit, this puja for this benefit, this puja for this benefit. You want all these things. So Rupa Goswami says, if you want all these things, and if you read Bhagavatam, Rupa Goswami says you are a fool. He says, Bevkuf, fool, why did you read Bhagavatam? If you want these things, why did you read Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam will annihilate all those desires. Baba, don't read Bhagavatam. So he is thus poetically instruct us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So poetically, Rupa Goswami is telling, please read Bhagavatam, Baba. Why? It is so glorious that even the four goals of human life are insignificant in comparison. If you start developing taste for Bhagavatam, then the desire for dharma, artha, kama, moksha will go away. So please read Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripened fruit of all this desire fulfilling tree of the Vedas. Ripened fruit of all this desire fulfilling tree of the Vedas. So, see, the Vedas are compared to trees. What kind of trees is Veda? The Vedas are desire fulfilling tree. What is the what is what is the best part of the tree? Is the fruit. And what kind of fruit is the best part? Is the ripened. If you have a mango tree is valuable. Why? Because it has mangoes in that. And among mangoes, the mango which is very ripe and sweet and pulpy, that is the best. That is the essence of the entire tree. So the whole Vedic literature is compared to the whole Vedic literature is compared to the trees, desire fulfilling tree, and it has so many fruits, so many Puranas. Some have some Mahabharata, so many are there. Everything has something about Krishna. Everything is like little bit, but Bhagavatam is like fully ripe. So Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripened fruit of this desire fulfilling tree of the Vedas. Means the best part of the Vedas, all the Puranas, the essence, the fame of all the scriptures, the conclusion of all the scriptures, the purpose of all the scriptures, the everything is Srimad Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam starts in the beginning only. Bhagavatam describes itself that this Atra, Atra means this Bhagavatam, this Bhagavatam, this Bhagavatam. This is like the ripened fruit. A tree is honored by the production of its fruit. For example, a mango tree is considered very valuable because it produces the king of all fruits, the mango. When the mango fruit becomes ripened, it is the greatest gift of that tree. The Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly held to be the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree. And as ripened fruit becomes more relishable when first as ripened fruit becomes more relishable when first touched by the beak of a parrot or shuka, Srimad Bhagavatam has become more relishable by being delivered through the transcendental mouth of Sukadeva Goswami. So ripened fruit, already sweet. Then the parrot comes. Parrot takes little bit, eats little, taste it. Then the ripened becomes even more sweeter. Likewise, Bhagavatam is already. Vyasadeva spoke Bhagavatam also. But Bhagavatam is there in heavenly planets also. Bhagavatam itself is the conclusion. And when that Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadev Goswami, who is actually Sukha, who is actually parrot of Srimati Radharani, not an ordinary parrot, parrot of Srimati Radharani. Bhagavatam itself is great, and when it came out from the mouth, Sukha Mukharavinda. From the lotus mouth of Sukadev, it became even tastier. And it has become like so tastier that everything else is like becoming like became insignificant in front of this Bhagavad. Then there is, let's see if there is, are there any discussion, any questions anybody would like to ask till now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Vinay here.
Prabhu, then Prabhu.
So I was just meditating on like I have to leave from Lucknow in few days. I was thinking what should I give to my parents? They have Bhagavad Gita, but like for my mother, it's a bit hard to study. But like for Bhagavatam also, what Prabhupada has written, that's also seems very hard. So there is one Bhagavatam which is just one book, which seems simple. Is that a good start, or we should always start with what Prabhupada has written? That maybe become very hard for common people to understand.
Prabhu, this Bhagavatam is only translation.
Hmm. Yes,
Is,
from yeah, just one book, only stories.
is it Prabhupada translation or not Prabhupada translation?
Not proper translation.
The
This is
thing is,
from yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
from
From this what is this? Uh,
some other
Gita
author,
Press.
Gita Press, yeah. Prabhu, the thing is, um, there are a lot of variation in translation, Prabhu. Sometime if she likes it, if she finds maybe very big, it's okay to read only translations to develop some interest. Some devotees have done that, although in the next phase, if they are inclined in that direction, then we say the next time you, I mean, the devotional practices and clarity will come from purport. But if they find it like, no, no, I want to read just the story, then we recommend translation, because otherwise some people, just like Bhagavad Gita, na Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita is clear, but Adi Shankaracharya has presented the same Bhagavad Gita for politicians and for management um, and impersonal Mayavad conception. Same Bhagavad Gita is the whole meaning like twisted, Prabhuji. And the author who is writing now,
Mhm.
the author who is translating, if he is not a pure devotee of the Lord, he won't be able to bring that out. It won't be attractive. The devotion won't come out, Prabhuji, from that. Although the stories will remain, there's so many people, like Prabhupada says, so many people hear Bhagavad Sapta, but no transformation. Because just the story won't have that effect, Prabhuji. But it's like, see, Sukadev Goswami spoke with pure devotion. But then, when it is translated by somebody whose heart does not have that devotion, then again Prabhupada said it's like if he's an impersonalist or somebody. And Prabhupada gave an example, it's like the milk touched by a serpent. The milk becomes poisonous. Prabhupada even said that the holy name is all glorious, but if a Mayavadi chants the holy name, then the result will be inauspicious. Even the holy name can also be detrimental for us if it is coming from the lip of a non-devotee. So in that way, um, pure devotees, I mean, we recommend. Does that answer, Prabhuji?
Yes, so there are so many books, right? So they should just start reading the translation just to begin with, right? From I have the
That's fine.
Bhagavatam from Prabhupada. Yeah.
But from
Something happens after listening Bhagavatam. I have seen many instances here, my uncles, but they nobody knows how to practice it going forward. Once
uh,
they listen it, they come out and they're done.
uh,
The
uh,
next year again we will listen, but something changes for sure. That's guaranteed. Listening Bhagavatam.
uh, but if they see the reason, not transformation, stories are good. Yes, they are more favorable. They appreciate devotion. But heart transformation means they will start practicing that.
Yes, that
Here,
practice gets missing, bro. That's consistently I see that.
no, Prabhupada said becomes sentiment. Prabhupada
Ye-
says philosophy without practice is sentiment. अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा है, भागवतम बहुत अच्छा, केवल सेंटीमेंट बचता है. पर if they hear from pure devotees, then transformation will come, you will see them taking up the process and start practicing. That is the benefit of hearing from the like those whose heart is filled with devotion for Krishna. When they speak Prabhu, why Sukadev Goswami it is becoming sweeter? Because he is a parrot of Srimati Radharani, his heart is filled with devotion. So when it comes out from him, became very sweet Prabhu.
So Prabhuji, like first multiple books, right? They are more of a information how the world got created. Is it recommended that everybody should begin from the first book, or is there like they can skip certain books and start reading from certain places?
Unko bolo start. I mean, it's not the first book has so much like Bhishma Dev, Kunti Devi prayers, so many stories. In middle, some creation universal form, some things comes in between here and there, which is also glorious, but one may not be able to appreciate that. There, we recommend them keep going through. If they feel like,
Okay.
oh, I'm not finding interest, just keep going through. That's fine. Don't worry about it. And slowly let them access. Because if you tell them read this, they won't be able to connect. They will eventually give it up. Actually, they won't be able to feel connected there also. But if they start from begin, they will have a feeling of fullness.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam to Jai Shri Prabhu.
Prabhu, there isn't any book by Srila Prabhupada that is just translations of Bhagavatam, right?
There is one, it's
Oh,
not translation, it's by a Prabhupada disciple, it's not translation, it's Bhagavatam in story form.
okay,
Uh,
Prabhuji.
Bhagavatam, summary Bhagavatam, ISKCON, if we search, it's like thick book, entire Bhagavatam in story form. It
Okay,
is, because Prabhupada disciple, it is still better than um, not who is not practicing.
okay, so that can be still like recommended, like if somebody wants to
If
read.
somebody has eagerness just to know the stories and they want, yeah, we are okay with that. Yes, Mataji.
Very good. Another question, Prabhuji. I heard from somewhere it's actually from Sri Radharamanji's temple, not from ISKCON at all, but I know like there is some connection there. I heard it's about deity worship. Like if somebody is going out and is not able to take care of their deities, I heard कि आप चित्रपट सेवा कर सकते हो. So I don't know how we feel about it.
क्या फिर से बोलिए, if they're not able to take the deities, then they can what they can do?
Yeah, like if you are going, let's say on a trip on Vrindavan itself, that's what they were giving example of. Like चित्रपट सेवा कर सकते हो. You can take the
Ah,
picture
yes,
and you can
yes.
worship the picture.
We do that, Mataji. Yes, we take the picture worship. But still, what the point I was trying to make is we are still like conscious wherever we are. Oh, my Lord is hungry, let me feed them. Let me do arti to them. So deity make us Krishna conscious.
Right, Prabhuji.
Directly, indirectly, we are getting up and the thought will come to our mind, I have to wake up the Lord. So we don't even realize how much the Lord is entering in our heart by having a deity form worship. It's wonderful.
Yes, Prabhuji. I understood that point. That definitely makes a lot of sense. When there are deities. Um, I just wanted to have a further question about if one is all right to worship the picture, what do we do with the deities themselves? Like, do we put them in Vishram or is it fine? Like um, when we take care of a picture instead, when we worship the picture instead, I mean.
Oh, you mean when we are traveling?
Yes.
Yeah, we put the Lord to rest. So
Okay.
first option is if the deities can be worshipped by some other devotees who is around and where regular worship is going on, arati is going on, bhog offering is going on, then the Lord will continue getting worship and we can have extra worship in wherever we are. But if that is not an option, then we can put them to rest.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Also, we were having just one discussion, and when Mataji was mentioning, quoting Indra Prabhu, she was mentioning Indra Prabhu said, if somebody is performing Sankirtan, like harmonium, Kirtan, Mridanga, and they're not chanting the holy name, then that kirtan is only a performance. It will not have any potency. If one is not chanting. Likewise, I was relating this to our point. If we have Bhagavatams translated by somebody who doesn't have a fixed sadhana, see, people here now, people who are translating, they may have some sentiment towards Krishna, but they are mostly, they know Sanskrit and they are Sanskrit scholars and they are translating. But somebody who has a sadhana, chanting 16 rounds, and initiated, come in Guru Parampara, when they speak or maybe they write or they translate Bhagavatam, what to speak about pure devotees, then that will have an effect. You want to hear from those who have a sadhana in their life and who are connected to Guru Parampara. Then Krishna's mercy will flow. Otherwise, if one is disconnected, no matter what they write, it won't have that potency. It's connect to Krishna. Okay, anything else? I think that's all we will do today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a question, Prabhuji.
Mataji, bataiye, yes.
Prabhuji, when we travel to India, we usually carry our details with us, and
Yes.
most of the time, they open it.
Yeah.
And, so it is okay that we don't know what the person has written, and they touch our details.
Ah, I mean, they should not touch. They can take the darshan. Pure obeisance is fine, no problem. But yeah, it's not good that they touch them. But some circumstances, if there are something like this happens, then we beg forgiveness from the Lord, knowing that the Supreme Lord is there in a sleeping state. He's taking rest. And my Lord, we disturb your sleep. Please forgive us. So in that way, forgiveness can be asked, I think. If we can tell them, if possible, don't touch them. They are sacred. Uh, what can we do? Sometimes situations are out of our control.
Okay, Prabhuji. Because most of the time when we carry Jagannath, they ask us to, they open it.
Okay, what can be done? Yeah, time, place, circumstances.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other question, discussion?
Prabhuji, you mentioned that Dhruv Maharaj chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, right? But currently the accepted Mahamantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So I wanted to ask you, is there any difference in the power of these mantra, and in what circumstances do we chant either of these mantra?
Prabhu, every mantra, every yoga has a prescribed mantra, Prabhu. So it is says Satya Yoga, people would chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And in Kali Yoga, it is said Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is mentioned in Shastra, Prabhu. So, and Mahaprabhu, he did not give any mantra by himself to keep the authenticity. Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord. He can give us any mantra and empower any mantra, and that mantra will become the mantra for the yuga, the age. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't do that. Mahaprabhu took the mantra for Kali Yuga and propagated it. It's already mentioned. Before Mahaprabhu came, this mantra was chanted in Kali Yuga anyways by learned scholars. And Mahaprabhu empowered it, filled it with Krishna Bhakti, Vrindavan Bhakti, and then widespread it all over. But it is recommended for this Kali Yuga.
Actually, when you said it was already existing in the Kali Yuga, you meant the Hare, like starting with the Hare Ram, and then he modified it. That's what you mean, or
Well,
the actual mantra itself?
I mean, some devotees have views that it was actually Hare Krishna, and Sri Sampradaya reversed it. And some people say it was Hare Ram, Mahaprabhu reversed it. Both views are there. Either ways, Mahaprabhu empowered it with Vrindavan Bhakti.
Right.
Yeah, but this mantra was chanted before also. Every yoga has a prescribed mantra. I don't know the mantra for Treta Yoga and Dwapar Yoga, but for Satya Yoga it is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Others have also, but it's just I didn't come across. Okay, answers?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. That answered my question.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Any other discussion? question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah,
Dharma Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Yes.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, a question not from the today's presentation, today's class, but like I was thinking, we have this Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug, and in the starting of Kali Yug, when Kali was beating cow,
Yeah.
like Mother Earth in the form of a cow, and the like all the rishis were like, why Parikshit Maharaj did not kill the Kali, why he left him. So it was like so much of an offense that like killing, like beating a cow is like so offensive. Like what to think of the killing of a cow. So why then Krishna made this Kali Yuga? Because Krishna knows that people are gonna i- kill cow and eat. So why? Okay, we know that like Kali Yuga is better in terms of getting love of God and in one or two lifetimes or like three lifetimes or like very fast in like few years compared to the Satyug, but it has like this worst quality of killing cows. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Prabhuji, this system, Krishna has made this system that it goes from a pure state of mode of goodness to all the way to mode of ignorance. The modes becomes more and more different modes become active. And then again mode of goodness to mode of ignorance. So mode of ignorance heavy is like the end of Kali Yuga. Everything is like violence, yeah, anger and killing here and there and fighting. So that's like mode of ignorance, envy, um, um, passion, and then further it goes deeper and deeper. And that's how the system is defined, Prabhuji. And then again mode of goodness, goodness and passion, 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 ignorance, ignorance. In this way the ages are coming down. It's a natural system. um,
would you just like as we know, Krishna loves cows more than anything else. So he could have like changed it, like rather than like killing cow, killing all the other animals, just leaving the cows aside, like because
well
he loved cows.
he
So
yeah, he doesn't want cows to be killed, obviously, but he has given the free will to the living entity. And anybody who kills them, Krishna has made a system that they will have to go through unbearable suffering for as many lifetimes as there are hairs on the body of the cow. So Krishna has a reaction, but the living entity has a free will, and the modes are gonna change. And living entity who are impure, this is the material world. What can we expect from this material? So Krishna has made strict punishment for them. What can we do? Everybody. Later on, humans will also be killed. One children will be killed. And it's just the nature of this age. But it's so there's a one time we were discussing there's a difference between Krishna's desire and Krishna's sanction. So Krishna doesn't want it. And if somebody saves the cows, protect the cows, Krishna is very grateful to them. But Krishna does not interfere also. It just everything has a reaction and the whole laws, and Krishna does not interfere how things are going.
okay, Prabhuji.
And also it is mentioned Parikshit Maharaj could understand that he didn't kill Kali because Parikshit Maharaj understood that this is as per the will of the Lord. Because ये जो धर्म का चक्रव्यूह है ना ये रुक नहीं सकता. This thing has to go in cycle. So Kali cannot be killed actually. It was the Lord's desire. I mean not Lord's desire, but that's how the system is made. Parikshit Maharaj understood, so he didn't kill.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So okay, we'll end here. There is a good chance we may not have a class tomorrow because our GBC Malti Prabhu is visiting. We have a meeting with her. Most likely it will be delayed. I mean, it will go longer. So probably no class tomorrow. Okay. If anything changes, then I will text. Otherwise, by default, we don't have a class tomorrow.
So is Malcolm Mataji also visiting other places in Michigan?
She's coming to Farmington on Friday.
Okay.
She's
Thank
coming
you.
in tomorrow. Okay, thank you all very much. Vanchakalpataruphesha kripasindhubhe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnavyananda ki jai. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. Dandavat Pranam Sari Krishna. Thank you for joining. Dandavat.
Dandavat Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.